It's not a surprise that, yeah, let's just call them sneaks because I don't think we're allowed to say Jews anymore because of Trump. Trump, if he's going to go out in flames, he's going to really, do an executive order right before he leaves. Is it going to be to help build the wall or drain the swamp? No, it's to make it so you can't criticize Israel. But so instead of that, let's just call them sneaks or men in hats. New episode of Guess That Heritage. Guess That Heritage. Only People by America. How about Joy to the World? Okay. Joy to the world. Men in hats. I'm going to get my IG banned for criticizing Israel in honor of EO. You'd be surprised. I don't know who they ban or why they ban. It doesn't make a lot of sense. I think a lot of the internet is currently being run by AI. I don't think human beings are even making half these decisions. Like if you look at Google, Sergey Brin and that other little sneak, like they already retired. They know what's coming. They know what's coming. Rudolph and those fermented apples. Exactly. Puts the piano on. I'm getting my piano retuned soon to 432 hertz. Things are going to escalate. I hope someday we can watch Bear Cubs play piano. Oh, I'd love it. Right now, all Walter cares about is trucks, which I'll encourage any of his interests. Trump is not going anywhere. Who cares? No, if you care, you're part of the problem. Like if you're literally just like on bated breath, like what will Pelosi do? It's like those guys that all they do is check their ex-girlfriend's Facebook and they're just like, did you see what she did? Look, I was totally right. I was totally right. I knew she was crazy. Look at her. Look at her again. Hey, it's been 6 months. We got to keep looking at her. Politics are a disaster. A disaster. I highly recommend you don't follow any of it for any reason. You're not protecting yourself by following it. Like if you watch CNN and Fox News and follow all this absolute noise and nonsense, you're never like, man, I'm so glad I watched all that news about politics because that's how I really saw a lot coming and I could protect my family. And I bring a lot of knowledge to my community by watching endless coverage of ridiculous impeachment that no one cares about. You could focus on Trump or you could be a godly man and grow a garden and protect your wife. Yeah, it's just like you only have a certain amount of energy. You only have a certain amount of brain cycles, certain amount of focus. Why would you put it towards old men in suits that lie for power? I'm serious. Like it doesn't mean anything. It's like, so they're basically just the world's biggest mafia. And they sit around and they lie and steal and sneak for money. All of them. All of them. Every single one of them. It's like, yeah, you're going to have your guys that you like more. Like I like Trump more than 99% of politicians I've ever seen. But that's just like the tallest midget. It's just like he's still a politician. He still chooses to be in a den of vipers making deals with liars and murderers all day, every day. So it's like, if you have this mind and you're like, what am I going to do today? Am I just going to like play piano and like grow something? It's like, no, I'm going to just watch liars in suits endlessly draw out pain. The man who never looks into the newspaper is better informed than he who reads them. Thomas Jefferson. Yeah, none of this is new. I'm glad I got to learn it in my 30s. Like, I know my dad would just curse and yell at the TV all the time about politics, and he just wasted his whole decades of his life. Nothing happened. Like my dad yelling at the television didn't change anything. It just wasted his life. Only gets politics. Yeah, dude, it's just watching a televised mafia convention all the time. It's just like, the Gambino family might get power over it's just like, dude, that's all it is. It's all mob, all of it. The only like real political appointments that you can still be a good person in is like sheriff superintendent, alderman, like mayor. Everything else is just absolute noise. Trump is his nicest smelling cow fart. Boomers watch TV their whole life and complained and did nothing. All they did is ignore their own kids. That's all the boomers yelling and bitching and screeching did. Trump is my favorite politician of all time. That being said, I wouldn't trust him with my wallet. I'm dead serious. Like, they're all liars to the point where they choose to do it as a profession. It's like, oh, what do you want to do for a living? It's like, just lie and sneak. For what? Power. Most politicians are all Harvard evil. It just, watch sports if you're going to watch stuff. I don't even watch sports anymore because it's so grabbled. It's like, I don't want to watch people being like, oh, they're all wearing pink shoes in memory of homosexuals. It's like, get out of here. But it's like, if you're going to watch anything, just watch like the Yankees or something. It's like they've chosen to play sports, which is better than just lying. So true. If you feel anything other than amusement from news, it's to be turned off. Yeah, and the more you do that, the more power you actually get. It's so ironic. It's absolutely upside down. Like if you watch the news all the time and you're like, oh, just see Trump and this, you don't really, your voice gets diminished because you're agreeing to nonsense. You've taken tickets. If you don't pay attention and you just simply prepare and react and improvise and adapt, you have much, much, much more power in your life, much more command than if someone, they look down at people that watch the news. It's like it's like when girls watch the Bachelorette. It's exactly the same thing. It's like the Bachelorette for guys is politics. It's just like with bated breath. Is she going to pick Cody, the cowboy, or Gary, the rocket scientist? Or is she going to pick, Ari, the real rich guy from New York? Like, who's she going to pick? Oh, he's got a rose. Oh, he took her swimming. Well, the other guy took her for a Sunday stroll. Oh, I think she might have done something with him that night when they panned to the moon for no reason. Like, how women do that and you're like, you're absolutely retarded. Like any woman that watches Bachelorette, like none of them the marriages never last. It's never happened. It's all nonsense. So just understand it's the exact same thing with politics. It's like my dad would spend years just like, just endlessly. Nothing changed. Nothing. The TV wasn't listening. And meanwhile, his little boy wanted to go fishing. That's why the way I am handling this reality is I take my kids fishing. I watch the news every morning making fun of it. Well, that's fun. If you know how to make fun of it, it's great. That's what I'm saying. You don't have to detach completely from everything. Just don't take it remotely seriously. I still like Trump as a character. He's funny. They're all terrible. All. It's like Obama or John McCain, George W. Bush or Al Gore. It's like if you really put your emotions into this stuff, it's literally just like Gambino family versus the Gaudis. And everyone's like, oh, the Gaudis are going to save us. Oh, no, the Gambinos are going to save it. They're just vying for who gets to steal from you and why. They're vying over what narrative they get to use to steal. That's all it is. Laugh at the devil. Yes, Welder Bear. That's all it is. Democrats just insured Israel. Just stop, Chris. Stop. The Democrats just insured Israel. It's either completely scripted or what you see is nothing close to reality. So, like, why even do that? It's like the Democrats have an old senile pedophile named Joe Biden. They have a raging, sacrilegious, blasphemous, raging homosexual married to a guy named Peter Butt from South Bend. They have a dyke haircutted woman named Elizabeth Warren who lied about being an Indian for a job and then kept lying. And she literally looks like a Sarah McLachlan lesbian. And it's like, who cares? It's like if the Bachelorette was like homeless Gary And of course, she could date this guy that sells meth and has one leg and just constantly calls everyone a cunt. You know, like that's literally what you're watching. These aren't leaders, guys. This is the bottom of the barrel in life, but the top of the barrel of organized crime. Donald Trump is as funny and entertaining as you will ever get. Like Donald Trump is a guy I would hang with. I would hang out with Donald Trump and I would enjoy it. I think he's sneaky doesn't begin to describe him. Just absolutely someone that no one should ever trust with their wallet. They're all turncoats, though. Every one of them. There is nobody that isn't it's just all nonsense. It's like, well, we all wait with bated breath. My man Gabbard was the only Dem to not vote to impeachment. But Tulsi Gabbard is a man. Like, okay, so you have a transgendered sneak named Tulsi Gabbard who's on the council of the CFR, Council of Foreign. Who cares how they vote or what they do? You're watching a crime family sit around and try and divide up how they steal from you. That's all it is. Am I mad about it? No, it's always been like this. We as a people need to flip it upside down, flip it back right side up, and just know that the government is not to be trusted. They're not our buddies. You know, it's not entertainment. They're the government. Don't trust the government. You know, it's the mob. It's people shaking you down for money. You know, leave it as it is. Should we overthrow? No. Should you not pay your taxes? No, pay your taxes. Pay the mob. If you have Don Carlo coming to your door being like, you must pay up or your windows will have an accident. I pay. Like, this is nothing new. They're just the mob with the biggest military. And unfortunately, right now, they're run by the people who wrote Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Sarah's a lesbian. That's it. Done. Yeah. Yet another BB success story. 9. I think sometimes if they really hated him, they would have assassinated him. Just don't. All right, this is where your mind is, right? Don't focus it there. Focus it anywhere else. BB is woke Duterte. See, Duterte's my guy. I want a guy like Duterte. Oh, yeah. The people love Duterte. Duterte had a problem with drug dealers. You know what he did? He killed them. Duterte had a problem with Canada with garbage. You know what he did? He threatened to go to war with them. They stopped. They turned around. Duterte used to be a homo, but he made himself not a homo anymore because he crushes. I'm right here for the piano partners. I don't know if that's a request. I mean, it's all good. BB hilarious. Thank you. BB is slaying trauma wizards with laughter once again. Thank you, Beekeeper Bear. It's exactly what I'm doing. A trauma wizard is a great way to describe that. It's like they're trying to make you be like, they got him. Well, they're just insured. And then they're going to come back. Like, what has he done? That's like, what has he even done? It doesn't matter. There's an argument that if a Democrat's elected, the right gets more fired up. There's a whole argument that, like, every time that one of these right-wing guys, in quotes, becomes president, the right's like, well, our guy's in there. I know that nothing's happening that we wanted, but, you know, at least it's with our guy. When Obama was president, the right was way more active. They were watching everything. And now it's like, well, you know, he's doing as best he can. Duterte. Don't waste your time on political. Yeah, no. It doesn't, and you never know how it's going to require. Crazy? Yeah, no problem. I can play that. Thanks for lowering my cortisol, BB. Anytime. You know, people are like telling me he got impeached like it's this big news. I'm like, there's zero reaction for me. None. And impeachment doesn't mean anything. Bill Clinton was impeached. He stayed and raped for years and years more. Just kept raping. You don't know your politician is based until they publicly kill a few people. Exactly. If your leader hasn't hit the ban hammer a few times, if you know what I mean, I question everything about him. Like, you got to be able to like be like, okay, we had a problem with fentanyl. Well, this guy named Gary who's selling the fentanyl, I'm about to shoot him in the public square. And then people are like, yes. I'm about to switch my mod scalpel to a 50 cal. Well, I don't know. Is there? I haven't seen any bots at all. Any advice on quitting cigarettes? Yeah, replace it with something else. Not like another addiction, but um, yeah. Bread and circus for the masses. You're doing great, guy. See, I'm not a masses though, Bucks Country Bear. I know exactly what you're saying, but what you got to do is switch your mentality. We're like, we're not the masses. If anything, they're the masses. Like this mafia that runs the government, they're just stinky old suited criminals sitting around just sweating and lying. Like I don't feel like a mass. Odds are on their games, Gamma being swatted like flies tonight. I'm here to ask you, why did you ban? But it's like then you're banned. No one needs that at all. Guys, my favorite politician is debatably a dictator, Duterte. I don't get what people don't understand about that. Well, why won't you at least listen to what like Duterte? If you don't like it, get out of here. And I'm not even killing anybody. Replace smoking with making weapons. I love it. We are the elite. Yes. All right. Crazy. I remember when I lost my mind. There was something so pleasant about that day. Even your emotions had an echo with so much space. When you're out there without care, yeah, I was out of touch. And it wasn't because I didn't know enough. I just knew too much. Does that make me crazy? Does that make me crazy? Does that make me crazy? Probably. Come on now, who do you think you are? Ha ha ha, bless your soul. You really think you're in control? Well, I think you're crazy. I think you're crazy. I think you're crazy, just like me. Something so pleasant about that day. Even your emotions had an echo in so much space. When you're out there without care, yeah, just knew too much. Does that make me crazy? Does that make me crazy? Does that make me crazy? Probably. Come on now, who do you think you are? Ha ha ha, bless your soul. You really think you're in control? Well, I think you're crazy. I think you're crazy. I think you're crazy. Just like me. When you're out there without care, yeah, I was out of touch. And it wasn't because I didn't know enough. I just knew too much. Does that make me crazy?